Good afternoon, all. Welcome to Cancer Healing Journey Talks. Myself, Annie Jones from Community Outreach Team of ZenOnco.io and Love Heals Cancer. Cancer Healing Journey Talks helps cancer survivors and caregivers to share their journey with vast number of survivors and caregivers who have traveled or been traveling through this journey. This can inspire and motivate them for their faster recovery as well. I would like to introduce today's speaker, Varsha Naran. She is a coach, inspirer, mentor, and catalyst of action. She refers herself as a two-time gold medalist for having battled with breast cancer twice. Varsha was 25 years old. She was diagnosed with breast cancer and she survived. 10 years later, she was diagnosed with breast cancer a second time. As a coach, she brings generous sprinkles of wit and humor, shares her story of courage, resilience, and unyielding joy to her clients. So, welcome to today's session, Varsha. Over to you.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
That's great. So you had breast cancer. So, what were the signs and symptoms?
No, actually, none at all. I'm 25 and just putting lotion on my body, and I felt nothing in my arm. And that's how I discovered it. It just felt unusual.
All right. So, what was your first reaction when you got to know that you are diagnosed with cancer?
Shocked. I felt like the floor had opened up and I was in Alice in Wonderland, and I was just falling and falling and falling down the rabbit hole. And everything was upside down and dark, and I had all these thoughts, and I nothing was coherent, nothing made sense. I just felt like I was falling down this unending hole, down the rabbit hole.
Right. So, how did your family took the news?
How did my family take the news? I guess they were shocked. I mean, who wouldn't be? But they were very supportive. They were very supportive of me. I'm very close. I come from a big family. I am the eldest of 4 siblings, 4 children. And my sister and I are very close. So I guess we stood together.
That's great. So, what all treatment do you underwent?
So the first time I did chemotherapy, and then after that, I also went for a bilateral mastectomy and reconstruction.
Okay. So, did you thought of undergoing any alternative treatments like naturopathy, Ayurvedic treatment, anything like that?
Yes, I did consult with my homeopath, and that was really helpful in terms of my overall well-being. But at the same time, those days, naturopathy and all access to information, the internet, it was not as great as it is today. So a lot has changed in these years. I was followed by my homeopath, and I'm grateful for that. And that's it the first time. The second time, sorry, I'm in a lobby. So it's noisy. The second time that I had cancer, I was in a different country. So I was in South Africa the first time, and the second time I was in Mauritius. And here, because the chances of me getting the same cancer 10 years later, and for it to have changed from hurt to negative to hurt to positive, was so unique that they didn't really know how to treat it very well. So I did chemotherapy again. I removed the lump under my arm. It was the other arm this time. And then I went for radiation, and I'm still doing hormone therapy.
Okay. So, how did you manage your emotional well-being throughout the cancer journey?
Oh my goodness, that's a whole other story. This is what has led me to where I am today. So I think I realized and recognized right from the beginning that my body has its own wisdom, and I needed to trust my medical team to be able to help my body just get healed. And that's what I did. I had full and complete trust in my medical team, and I was very grateful for that. And then on the emotional side, it was really about win the battle in my head and my body will follow, right? So there has to be the mind and the body are one. So gosh, where to begin? I've never thought about it in this way, and yet it's thrown me in where I am. I guess it's just that I knew within me that I would be able to get through this, and that I needed at some point to shift certain things within me. I needed to heal inside. I needed to go inside as an inside-out journey is maybe what catalyzed it for me. I recognized so with my first diagnosis, I focused on a lot of things. I mean, I went like on a total high after being given the no cancer, and I was just high on life and really grateful and happy, and lived a really good life. I met somebody really great. We moved to Mauritius, and I had a little boy, and I was really living a good life. I was grateful for every day. I was taking risk. I was really in awe of having gone through and landing where I am. There was also something within me that felt like there was some healing that still needed to happen. So with my first cancer, I think in many ways I fractured myself. And I said, this is my body and this is my heart. And I'm just going to focus my body, focus on my team, on my healing, and get that done. And in terms of my heart, I was just on a high for so long on living my life that's what I did. I kind of just wanted to be the best version of myself. But actually there was a deeper part that needed to be healed, which I did not recognize. I didn't even recognize the fracture until much later in my life. And so the second cancer was a blessing, if you can call it that. Now in retrospect, right? Because my son was 2 years old, or just turned 2, and I had a reason to live. And I had this mind, I had a problem in my mind that why would I get cancer after having 10 years of living such a great life and being so grateful and just, I mean, I'm living in paradise, I'm living in Mauritius, right? With a man that I love, and I have a kid, and I've got everything, my career is doing well, everything in my life. And so that's where the real emotional healing happened. And that's where, kind of like the dark night of the soul kind of happened, where I had to really face myself and face my team and go deep within. And so that's led to a lot of silence. It's led to a lot of inner work. I've gone back to therapy and very intentional about what I want to heal from my past. I've done EMDR, and I've had to deal with traumas in my life. I have taken up connecting back to my body. So how do I heal as a whole person? And for me, that was connecting back to my body, making friends back with my body, being whole again. And that meant dance classes. It meant taking yoga up with a new vigor and a new connection to it. It meant dance therapy. It meant swimming more. It meant self-care. It meant learning to love myself just the way I am. It meant a lot of I am enoughness work on myself, but to not make it feel like work, but actually an act of self-compassion. And this is where a lot of my coaching has come alive. Because when I recognize that within myself, and as I've done that work on myself, I have kind of like the lotus petal, I've just kind of blossomed. And it's the 1,000-leaf lotus. There's always something that's opening up. There's something more to discover, and that's exciting, and that's beautiful, and that's wonderful. And who I am is already enough. So another level or another blossoming just adds to that. It just adds to the beauty, adds to the fragrance. So I think just being able to connect back to myself has helped heal a lot of my emotions. It's helped me come to terms with the traumas that I've gone through, and it's helped me appreciate, deeply appreciate what I do have in my life, and the gratitude that I have in my life, and the power that I have. I have so much of power over my own life, but also so much of power to influence and empower and uplift other women that have gone through this journey, other people that are struggling with trauma, with overwhelm, with anxiety, things that I struggle deeply with and that I've been able to help myself. So I really feel that if I can do it, anybody can. And that's kind of been the emotional journey for me. It's been a philosophy. The journey's not over, but I'm still on it.
Yes, that was a great journey. So, Varsha, so who was your support system throughout the whole journey?
Well, in my first cancer, my support was really my family, and especially my brother and my sister, my mother. Really, I would talk to my mother every night. I call and we talk for hours about why this was happening to me and how this linked to my spiritual journey and what was I like as a child. And, you're really also processing the loss of my father, because I had lost my father just 8 months before being diagnosed with breast cancer. So kind of just being able to process a lot of that. My sister and my brothers were my anchor. They kept me real. They kept bringing me back. Every time I went walkabouts, into feeling sorry for myself, feeling like the victim, wanting to avoid things, just crying. They allowed me to cry, and then they held my hand and they brought me back and they said, this is you. This is the essence of who you are. And you're not going crazy, and this is just unfortunate what's happening. But this does not define who you are. You are you. And we're not going to let you forget that.
That's great. So, what about the doctors and the other medical staff? How were they?
Oh my gosh, my oncologist was literally the person that kept me sane. I was going through so much, and he kept me sane and he kept me grounded. And I was really grateful to the nursing team. I mean, they were just angels dressed in blue. And as well to a sister that was there for emotional support. That was the first time round. The second time round, again, blessed with an amazing medical team here in Mauritius. I really hit the lottery, got the best. Everywhere I went, not looking for it, just being drawn to them and them being drawn to us, and that just chemistry just worked. And then the greatest support of all, I had my husband, who's just wow, an example of groundedness and calm and open hearing and acceptance and unconditional love. And my son that just sat with me and rubbed my head when I shaved my hair and said, Mom, you look beautiful. And that was not, but just loved me for who I am, no matter what I went through. Bad days, good days. He was the color in my life. And without even knowing it, he really gave me that energy, that hope, that will to live and to fight and to just be here. Because I want to see him, play the piano, and I want to see him grow up, and I want to see him living in another country, and I want to see him being happy, and I want to be able to walk on the beach with him, as a teenager. And I want him to say, oh, Mom, that's so embarrassing. I want all of that. And so, yeah, I mean, my family's just been my rock. Yeah.
That's great. So, there might be times, right, when you felt really low. And what were the things that kept you motivated during that time?
Sorry, there was times when?
There were times, right, when you felt really low. So, what were the things that kept you motivated during that times?
Yeah, I would guess a few things. The first, the first image that popped into my mind was that of my beautiful sister, Vika. And she's just consistently throughout my life been my rock. And so that was the grounding presence of she just bring me back to reality. She'd bring me back to the present moment. So that was one. The other is my spirituality and being able to connect to this acceptance of it is what it is, and I can choose how I want to respond. And that I am loved and protected by something that's higher and bigger than me, and that I form part of something that's phenomenal, and this is my path. So that kind of radical acceptance of where I am. And I guess, the last, and I feel like I'm just bubbling over here, is my family, my husband and my son. That no matter what happens, I can just be me. I can fall apart and they there, and I can be high and they are there. And my husband, the part that I love most about him is his hand. He has this really strong hand, and I know no matter what happens, he's there. He's going to pull me up. So that's the third one. And then I think finally, the fourth of what really kind of centers and grounds me is that I believe in me. I have a will to live. And no matter what happens, I recognize that eventually, when you hit rock bottom, there's nowhere else to go. There is literally nowhere else to go except up. And I can rise stronger. I can rise up. I can rise above because I have this faith in me. I believe in me. And that's never left me. And I think that has come from my father, from him always believing in me. So on those really, really dark days, I can feel his presence. I can hold his hand, and I know that I can get through.
Right. So, did you make any lifestyle changes during or after the treatment?
Absolutely, so many. I think it's unusual if you don't. Nutrition-wise, really look at what I eat, what I put into my body, especially now having connected that my body, my mind, my heart, right? All of it is connected, and I'm a wholesome human being. So I made better nutritional choices for myself. Very connected to my body. So I exercise because I feel joyful when doing that. So I walk on the beach. I walk a lot. I walk on the beach a lot more. I do a lot of yoga that I'm connected to. I dance a lot more. So nutrition into the body, and then healing my spirit. So I make the choice, to go and see a therapist. I see a dance therapist. I see a EMDR therapist, a talk therapy, and then also I have taken up mindfulness as a practice, which has really, really helped me. I do a lot more meditative, mindful practices, which helps me center and ground myself. So those are the kind of lifestyle choices. And I've worked with really world-class coaches on my mindset to get me into the right place so that I set myself up to really deal with what's going on, see reality, and choose how I want to respond. So having and being vulnerable and asking for help and being open to that has really helped me in terms of my lifestyle. I moved to an island, right? From Sydney, but in Johannesburg. I've moved to an island, and the lifestyle that it offers me as well is a choice that I've made. I've chosen so I think maybe one of the biggest lifestyles is the choice. Yeah, the work that I do, the country I live in, the people I engage with, the energy I bring into my life. One of the biggest lifestyle choices has been choice, and bringing that in, so joyful choice. Yeah.
That's really wonderful, Varsha. So I'm pretty sure that cancer has changed you positively. So what life lessons did you get from the cancer journey?
I did a TED talk about this.
You can skip the question.
It was just one of the most amazing experiences because it allowed me to crystallize and really bring it all together. And, you know, as time passes then, right? And of course, as we grow and we learn and the petals, right? Another petal unfolds and you learn. And since then, for me, if I could crystallize what I have learned from my journey, for me, it would be about connecting back to yourself. That I am enough and connecting back to my enoughness. The second thing, it would be around choosing to be brave, and that bravery, just that choice of being brave, shifts the way you interact with life. And maybe the third aspect would be to love fiercely. Love so much that it makes you cry, and that it's okay to love fiercely. That would be it for me.
Yeah. So, what will be your message to other survivors and caregivers out there?
What would be mine?
What will be your message to other cancer patients and caregivers out there?
I guess I'm coming back to choice, and that life will happen, and it's not always going to be pleasant, and it's okay, because I can choose how I want to respond to what happens to me. And in that choice is my empowerment. And when I have that empowerment, then I'm whole and I am enough. And that's an amazing place to live from.
That's great. So, did you join any support group throughout your cancer journey?
No, I looked and I couldn't find.
That's great.
So I looked and I couldn't find.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the various stigmas attached to various types of cancers? So, especially, breast cancer is still considered as a taboo, just like cervical cancer. So, what do you think about all these stigmas?
It makes my heart ache. I am so sad. I mean, when I was diagnosed the first time, there were some family members that came to visit, and they looked at me like I was dying, and I'm like, it's just cancer. I am not dying. You know, it's something treatable. It's the best kind of cancer you can have, if you can even say that, but it's treatable, and I'm feeling great, and I am, doing my best to heal, and I want you to treat me that way. I want you to not see just the cancer. Cancer is a chapter in my life. It doesn't define me. I want you to see me. And it makes me so sad that people don't. I started an ONG, I started an NGO here in Mauritius. And one of the biggest things that we found was the stigma and the shame attached to it. And I can't understand, why would you be shameful? You didn't do anything wrong. You were beautiful. You are an amazing person. And this happened to you. And if you choose to buy into the shame, then you're giving your power away. So for me, that stigma is really sad, and I'd love to be a voice, to be able to destigmatize. And this is part of why I volunteer to go and speak about cancer in companies, in organizations, to be the voice that says, hey, I'm just an ordinary person. There's nothing special about me. And I go through it. And if I can get through it, then so can you. I have demons, same like you. I have doubt, same as you. I believe that I'm not enough, or that I am, not a good enough mother. I have guilt, I have fear, I have anxiety, I have overwhelm. Same as you, but I've done it, and so can you. So just wanting to normalize this, that it's there. And our power comes when we learn more about it, when we have the support structures in place, and we believe that we can do something about it. So yeah, I think I choose to be a voice of hope.
That's great. So, how much do you think is the importance of awareness to the public regarding various types of cancers?
Who do I?
Sorry, the importance of awareness. So, how much do you think is the importance of awareness to the public regarding various types of cancers?
Oh, you know, we need to double, triple, quadruple down on it. Having said that, I am so encouraged by what I do see out on social media today. That's how I found you guys, right? Because I'm always on the lookout. And compared to 2004, 2005, when I got my first cancer diagnosis, things have changed so much. And I have more hope today than I had then. Then there wasn't any access to these kind of things. And I went to a great center. So I think awareness needs to really shoot up, that we need more awareness. We need more organizations like you, like yours. We need more people like me that stand up and speak about it, that say, hey, this is what it is. We need to normalize it much more because it's here. And the more we normalize it, the more we talk about it, the easier it becomes for the healing to happen. And that's what we want to do, eventually step into our power, to allow the healing to begin and not stand in the way of it.
That's great. So, one last question, Varsha. So, if you have to sum up your journey in one sentence, what would that mean? It's just like your motivational quote, which you always kept in your heart.
Okay.
I know everyone lost in here. Okay, this question.
Hey.
Everyone gets lost in this question because no one expects this question. So it's just like, oh, how can we summarize the whole journey in one sentence? You can use 2 or 3 sentences. Well, it's fine.
So I guess preparing to die has taught me more about living than I could ever have imagined.
Okay.
And when you have a choice, always choose to be courageous, because that's where you step into your power.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Varsha. I'm pretty sure that this session will really motivate people out there who's currently traveling through the journey and who has already been through the journey. So thank you so much once again.
Thank you, Annie. It's been wonderful chatting with you.